This is not normal for Oklahoma. Woke up this morning and it was 0. All right, well, let's get them home. I'm very fortunate and lucky, so lucky to do what I do. Really? How does that taste good? Get back. Hey guys, it's Dusty Baker, Cross Timbers Bison. Welcome back to our channel. Got the new hat, rocking it out. Yes, right there it is. So, I'm gonna start building fence. We've got our H's have been set. We're all good, got the gates hung. We are ready to go. Now, we're gonna start stretching this actual fence. So, I'm gonna take my barbed wire after I get my measurements, because our T-posts are 6.5 foot tall T-posts. I've got to measure out where do I want this barbed wire. We're only doing 5 strands because it's a cross fence. We're just using it as part of our pasture rotation. I'm only doing 5. Typically, if it's an exterior fence, we're going to do at least 6. So I'm going to measure this out, and then we're going to start with our bottom wire, and we're going to stretch it all the way to here and see how it looks. And then once I stretch the first line, that is kind of my anchor point. So from there, that's where I'm going to drive the T-post. And once I drive the T-post and it's set and we like it, then we will just start stretching. Boom, 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 boom. We'll get 5 strands pulled from this way, and then we'll go 5 strands from that way after we get that first line stretched and get all the T-post in there. And this line, we will have a cross fence done. So I'm gonna get started. We'll stretch our first barbed wire of 2021. Here we go. Checking everything out for me, making sure it's good. You're just curious, I want to see what's going on. I understand, but I wouldn't lick that. That's gonna hurt. Shoot, that'll hurt you. Really? How does that taste good? Get back. Can't reach you. It's the strangest thing to lick. It's rough. You are silly. I've got first strand, I've got it pulled tight, got it tied up here. We're 12 inches off the ground here. We're 12 inches off the ground at our H post. I've got that tension pulled. Now I'm just going to slowly loosen this off here, and all this right here, this extra room from the strand here that I've got tied, will tighten up, and then we'll have our first strand. One of the things I like to do when you stretch your first fence and you gotta start driving your T-post in is take some paint, any type of marking paint, found some left over, and I'm gonna measure every 10 feet, mark it on the actual barbed wire so that I know that I just go down the line here and start driving these T-posts in. Just something to, you don't have to stop and measure 10 feet every time. So I'm gonna go through here and mark all these, and then I'll come back through and I'll start driving the T-posts. Now the fun part begins. Driving the T-post, got them marked, first line stretch. So we kind of use that as the straight line, so we can just go right off of this first strand of barbed wire and drive the T-post every 10 feet. So now it really begins. Put a little labor into it, get a little upper body workout. Yeah, but the good thing is it rained this morning, and this ground has been pretty moist here. So hopefully these things drive pretty well. We hope, but I know what lies about a foot below the surface. Could be even shallower than that. That's some of this stuff right here. Oh yeah, I do not miss that. Whew, it's a chilly day. Got the second line stretch. And so what we're doing here is, because we're only doing 5 strands of barbed wire, what I've done here is I've gone on my bottom line, I've gone 13 inches off the ground. Not a lot of headroom here, but what we're doing is, because these are 6.5 foot tall T-posts, so we've got to spread this out. You can kind of have a little bit more room down here. Some people probably don't like that, but bison typically don't stick their heads to the barbed wire, knock on wood, but we haven't noticed them that they do it here. We got a bigger gap here between our first strand, our second strand, and then as we go up, the gaps will start getting smaller, because we want to be able to have that top strand using the height of our T-post all the way up here to that first or second notch. I'm just going through here. Also, something I do is we use these clips. I've got the first one clipped right here. Watch out for the polar bear. And then what I'll do is I'll go through every other T-post and I'll add these clips like I've done here already, and I'll go every other. So I'll just basically do all the ones that already have it, because I've already done that to the first strand, and then I'll count my notches according to how high I want my depth. I'll put my clip on it, and then I'll go all the way down. And then once I do that with all of the strands of barbed wire, then we'll come back through and we'll put all of them on. We do that just so we can get back and look at it and make sure that it's flowing with the land and that it's even on every T-post, and then we'll come back through and tie all these up. This sucker's frozen right now. I'm glad I got this done before this all settled in. Whew. Because this is a second fence I've built for the bison, I want to give a price breakdown for you guys, because I get a lot of emails and I get a lot of interest from people that are wanting to raise bison, and they're asking me questions. And one of the main things that they always ask me is they want to talk about fencing. For an interior fence, you guys know I just did 5 strands here, and then I did a 6.5 foot tall T-post. So I'm gonna give you a price breakdown. By the barbed wire, by the roll, and that was $74 for a roll. I get all of my stuff from Stillwater Milling in Davis. The T-post, $4.05. Not very expensive. If you get more, there's price breaks and they'll take off some change for you. The more T-posts you get. I only had to buy 50 of them. This isn't a very long stretch, guys. It was like exactly 520 feet worth of T-post. That doesn't include the gates and the pipe that I set. I bought a 2 7/8 pipe. It was like $1.50 a foot at the time. Metal was a little high then. 2 3/8 is maybe just a little bit cheaper. I like to use 2 7/8 on our fence post and to hang off our gates off of. So you're talking in the dollar range for metal right now per foot. And we buy the 30-foot joints of that. So you get the clips that come with it, that come with the barbed wire when you buy them. This frozen looking clip right now. But so I did 520 feet worth of T-post. I drove 50 T-post, and here's the math breakdown for you as we can talk about this, just to give you an idea of cost, because people ask me about costs all the time, and I can't give you exact costs on what it'll cost you to build your fence. This is how we do it. This is an interior fence. If we were building an exterior fence, we're probably gonna have taller T-posts, and we're gonna definitely have 6 strands of barbed wire. That's a given. We always will do that. I hope this helps you, gives you an idea of fencing. Everybody, it's always a talk when you're building fence for bison. What do you do? And everybody has their own choice. Everybody does things different. A lot of people use electric fence, which is great. You got to train the bison for that. I just discourage going out and spending a lot of money on the tall fences. You don't have to do that necessarily. You don't have to go out and buy the really tall fencing like the 10-foot and do that. Now, some people do that and you feel safe about it and you've got the money and can afford it, then go for it. I know a lot of people are using the freestanding panels now, which those are great. There's like 20 footers and they're solid. They're heavy. You got to move them with the tractor. I love those. Those are great. And those are super durable and bison tough. it's just really up to you and what you want to do for your bison. There's a lot of people out there that do different stuff. Go visit, go talk to those guys. I can email and do all that, but I just love talking bison. You know, I've done this for 3 years now. I'm a beginner, still in the beginner stages of this. If you're interested in raising bison, or you currently raise bison and have questions and just want to talk bison, maybe see how I do things, I'd love to chat with you. So I'll set that up and I'll give you a little bit more information on that coming up in the next couple of videos. Hey guys, well, welcome back. What you saw in my previous video, that was a day before this Arctic blast, and as you can tell, it is a little bit different here now. Doesn't take long. And most of you already know what this is. This is not normal for Oklahoma. This is cold temperatures. Woke up this morning and it was 0. Guys, I don't know when the last time it was that cold. Nothing's gone wrong. Nothing's gone wrong at all. I don't think so. Oh, well, just kidding, right? Arctic blast, the sub-zero temperatures, not used to that in Oklahoma. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Well, Dunbar's doing good. He's eating everybody's feed. See everybody else hanging around. They don't even fight with that guy. But had to get a new hose. The hose busted. Water tanks are froze up. Our hay tractor froze up. Had to borrow the neighbors. My mom fell. May have broke a rib. A bison got out. One of the cows, Flo, got out yesterday. Thankful Mom and Kevin got on it, and luckily Flo is one of the nice ones from the Big Joe herd, and apparently she slipped out while Kevin was putting water in the water tank. But he was able to get her in with the feed bucket. Thankful for the feed bucket. Everything was fine there. Got her back in. Other than that, we've been okay. I think we're just cold. What do you expect with the temperature of 0? Yeah, so what you saw in the previous video, that was what I heard a meteorologist call the appetizer. And then right now we're in the meat and what I like to call the meat and potato section of this storm. They've all got the frozen goatee going on, so, which is fun because every time that they run, it's jingling. The frozen goatee. Hey, Eleanor. So you guys know Eleanor's doing great. And her little bull. Your goatee's frozen. See what he does here. Nope. I'll tell you what, I am so thankful I am not in the north. I had a buddy text me this morning. He also raises bison. He raises a lot of bison and is probably dealing with a lot more problems than me, but oh, he sent me a text this morning. It was -24. He's located in southwest South Dakota. Oh my Lord, -24. I don't know what I'd do with -24, and I'm a softie when it comes to being cold, but like I said, the great thing is, guys, we have these awesome animals and they're so dadgum tough. You guys got to check out Big Joe. It reminds me of like a Hispanic, their holiday of they're celebrating the death of their family members. I don't know what you call it, but that's what it reminds me of. It looks like those skull paintings, or it just looks like a ghost, like a big white bison ghost. Funny, he's been walling around. I let him out here in the lot, let him have a little fun, and Dunbar can come up to the fence, and it's a stretch, but I really wanted to let them run around and see them all together, because when they get out, or when they actually run together, they get all hyped up. It's funny to watch them run together and get excited. Welcome to 2021 Arctic Blast in southern Oklahoma. It snowed one day, and then 2 days later it snowed again. So we've probably got, maybe 7 or 8 inches right now on the ground of snow, and it's not going to go anywhere for a couple of days at least. But it's been crazy. Kevin and I were actually watering. This little bird came up because we busted the ice, and this little bird came up within a couple of feet and actually was drinking the water that had actually leaked off the side of the water tank. I've never seen that before, but I mean, this is even hard on the birds of how cold it is here. I thought it was a really neat experience. This is the bison in their element, and I love it because we don't get this very often, and it's so fun watching these bison. And it's a totally different like landscape, or just a picturesque to see them out here in all the snow. You know, just like you see lots of photos and videos of them at Yellowstone. It's always got snow in the wintertime, but here in southern Oklahoma we don't get this. And so there's something really neat about bison and snow. And I know a lot of farmers, cattle farmers, are going, heck no, you're crazy, we don't want that. Because obviously the cattle, they can have calves right now. It's a lot harder on cattle, but there's just something special about seeing the bison in the snow. How are you handling it? Huh? How are you handling it? Huh? Don't bother you? Sounds like you got beads on you. So you guys are probably wondering, shelter. Do these animals need shelter? Luckily, they don't. Some may in the north, I don't know, but I doubt it. These animals are able to do this for hundreds of years and survive in these conditions. And these conditions aren't as bad as some places. We do actually have a barn that's behind the silos that they can get under. It's an old barn. There's a north wall that they can get behind, and they can stay in it if they need to. So they've been hugged around the hay for sure. And they actually do drink a lot of water. See, these animals drink a lot of water right now, keep that body warm. We also supplement feed them right now for that extra warmth, and it's good for them to have that supplement feed as well with the hay to keep them warm in these conditions, and just try to keep them healthy. But obviously gotta have water, so we're busting water. Kevin's busting water and I'm trying to rotate with him. He's been busting water in the mornings. I tried to get over here in the evenings away from the cabins to help bust waters too as well. So it's been fun for sure. Thank you guys for watching. I know you guys are dealing with the Arctic blast as well. If you're in the Midwest or in the South, I know most of the country is dealing with this. So I hope you enjoy it. You guys stay warm, stay safe, and make sure you be careful where you walk, okay? Thank you guys. Hey guys, Dusty Baker with Cross Timbers Bison. Welcome back. It's good to see you guys. As you can tell, there's some fun stuff. That rooster just will not. I mean, it is 2:30 and this guy still croaking away. Good Lord. You guys can tell it's that fun time of the year. It's a good thing to own bison instead of cattle, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that. But there's some things I gotta handle, and if you see this stuff right here, you know that's a problem. Look at that right there. You can see the rings where water's gone down, and we've busted it and pulled the ice out. Kevin and I have. You can see the bison out there, and Everything is white, grass is white, it's all frozen. Oklahoma is typically not this cold, but it is cold and it's gonna be cold for a while. Well, unfortunately, the hose busted, and I really wish I had that automatic water system going, because those rubber tires, supposedly, they don't really freeze. But now I got a new hose, had to buy a new hose, and this is what we're dealing with right now. So bison are doing good though. Herds up. One of the things that you gotta appreciate about bison versus cattle, and I don't always like to compare cattle versus bison, but when it comes to cold, it comes to blizzards, when it comes to snow, when it comes to ice and the bad conditions of wintertime, there is a major advantage that bison have over cattle. I know a lot of cattle people right now are probably hitting it hard. They're out there getting water, probably busting ice in the ponds and their water systems, and which everybody has to do that. The other bad part is the cattle right now, they're probably having calves. This can be calving season for a lot of cattle, and it's a rough time to be having calves. Here's the positive about bison. They're not having calves right now. It's not springtime. They won't start having calves till maybe April or May. Mine will be May, June, and sometimes even July. But the thing is, bison aren't having babies right now, but bison are tough animals. Bison can handle the conditions. Everything, the trees, the plants, the fencing, everything is frozen on the north side, facing where all of our bad weather comes from. It's so funny. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before, but it is definitely cold here in southern Oklahoma. Us Okies we're not used to that down here in the south, but these guys are. These guys have been groomed for this since the bison have existed. These guys are made for this stuff. Look at his big old coat, big old thick hair, that thick hide. Big Joe here, he's just in his natural setting here, and this cold weather doesn't bother these guys. And I can't imagine what it's like in Montana or up in Canada and some of those northern states where it gets really chilly, and I don't even know how cold that is. I've never been in that cold of weather, but you know, I know it's below zero. We don't have to deal with that, thank gosh. But it may get down that cold. But that's the great thing about these animals, is like Big Joe here, is these animals can survive these type of temperatures, and right now we're in the teens in Oklahoma, which is cold. But like I said, up in the north and a lot of places, or like up in Yellowstone where it gets really cold, these animals have been surviving through this. And this is why these animals are so tough. It's because they've been living through these conditions forever, and that's why the bison are still here. That's why the bison survived longer than the woolly mammoth or the mammoths. The bison, that rooster, I'll tell you what, these suckers, that's why these animals are survivors, is because they can go through this type of weather. But so the benefit of raising bison versus cattle is because of this right here. These animals can take care of themselves. They're low maintenance. Now you probably have to go out and give them some hay. Obviously we are always giving ours hay, especially during the winter time. We supplement feed too in the winter time, just to keep them healthy and keep them strong and keep that immune system going. We're not trying to fatten them up or anything, but we do keep some feed on these guys, and obviously make sure that they have good water. And then you got Goofy here. Dunbar. Dunbar, your goatee's frozen a little bit. Hear that dumb rooster. But this is a positive raising these guys. You don't have to go out and try to save and rescue their calves in the middle of this. These animals can take care of them. How to get me a new hose at 100 feet. Are you cold? I'm cold. All right, we gotta hook up our new hose. And then after I'm done with this thing, I gotta clean it. I gotta drain it out, so make sure all the water's out of it. And oh yeah, take it inside and let it stay warm. Peaches. So I've got to fill these waters up. Since I got the new hose, the other one busted, I've got to fill these waters up while I can. Fill them all the way up. And then I got to drain this hose and then get it out. I got to get it out of the cold weather and take it inside and keep it warm so that we can use it again. Whew, it is cold. Got to get this thing off, get the water out of it. We're going to take it in for the night. Keep it. These guys are feeling frisky. It's about 24 degrees outside. It's like a winter wonderland here. Say hi to Eleanor. She's doing great, hanging out with the calves. Also put some Redmond mineral out. You click on the link below and that'll take you straight to the Redmond Minerals website. I really like using their minerals. I put out Bison 90. It's one of the only companies that produces a Bison 90, which is extra selenium for bison only. It's a great mineral. Give them a little bit of minerals that they may not have in the wintertime that they may have in the other seasons. As you guys can see, just part of raising livestock, any animal, when it's cold outside like this and freezing temperatures, you've got to get those animals watered. That's important. You know that. I give credit to the guys up north that are dealing with way colder temperatures and way worse conditions than here. But like I said, in southern Oklahoma, this is hardly ever that we get this cold of temperatures consistently and having to bust this ice. Welcome to the farm life, right? Just part of the benefits of having bison is a perfect example. Today, these animals can survive these cold weather temperatures and the conditions because that's the way God made them. We're thankful for that. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed to us, it's Raising the American Bison. Thank you guys. Who doesn't want to raise bison? Awesome animals. I'm going to tell you how to start raising bison. Hey guys, it's Dusty Baker with Cross Timbers Bison. I got a special video for you today. This is going to be something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I did it a long time ago. Those of you who are interested in raising bison or interested in how we do things, if you're ever thinking about raising bison, or you maybe just want to jump in and just see how it goes, today I want to show you something. Today I want to show you the process of starting a bison herd. The reason I'm showing this video is because I get a lot of interest from a lot of people asking questions, wanting to visit and see how I do things. I'm into my 3rd year of raising these awesome animals. So I'm still a beginner, but I can kind of tell you some things and I can hopefully help you get started or maybe even think about some of the steps that it takes to raising bison, because it is a lot of work. Recent activity that I've been doing the past 3 years is getting started raising bison, and I want to help you with that today. Number one thing I always tell people to do is join the NBA. Join the National Bison Association. It's so important to start from there. With the National Bison Association, it gives you a whole avenue of resources. One is this handbook right here. You can get the Bison handbook, and this is the very first one that I got when I signed up. You can become a member. I think it's $225 a year membership, and it just is a whole avenue. It gives you access to the NBA conferences. It gives you access to resources online. It gives you the classifieds. If you are interested in buying animals, you can look for animals people sell on bison. It also plugs you into every producer in North America that's part of the NBA. It gives you access to contact information to all the current NBA producers. Second thing to do is go visit a ranch. Go talk to some bison owners. Talk to the people that have been doing it a long time. You can talk to people like me that just started. There's different ranges in bison producers out there in North America that have totally done it differently. They started when they're younger, they started when they're older, it doesn't matter. Go visit a bison ranch. The third thing, do as much research as you can. Do as much research as possible. And part of that research is, there's a lot of resources online that also starts with the NBA, and then also asking producers. Do your study, do your homework to get ready for these animals and see what you have to do. Hopefully this video helps you also get to that. The next thing to do, reach out to your state organization or your state association. I'm part of the Oklahoma Bison Association, and there's a lot of states that have their own organizations. Get a part, get with some people that are in your community or in your state. Find that group of people, get in with them, and they can help you get started as well. Another thing, when you're starting, it's expensive. It's an investment in these animals. A couple of resources that you can use. Use the USDA and also use the NRCS. Those government organizations have great programs for beginner ranchers. You can get a lot of help financially. You can get a lot of help through your land. You sign up for programs that will help you establish water systems. They have programs to help you build fence. They have loan options to buy land. Use the USDA and use the NRCS. One of the questions that I always get is how much or how many bison can you put on so many acres? What we call a stocking rate. Well, how do you figure out a stocking rate? You can kind of have a general idea, but guys, the first thing is all about where you're located. Wherever you're located will tell you how much grass is there, what exists there, and what type of grasses are available and how much grass is available for bison to graze. Because yes, we want those bison grazing just like they have for hundreds of years. The NRCS, they'll have a field agent. They can come out, they can look at your land, they can analyze it, they can study it, and they can tell you mathematically and all their scientific, their research and their work that they put into it, they can tell you your stocking rate and they can tell you how many bison you can have on your land. One of the benefits about raising these bison is they are low maintenance. You are gonna have to work your animals. You gotta pay attention to them. Watch their body language, read them, make sure their health is good. You really gotta check on these animals. They are low maintenance compared to cattle. They can take care of themselves. As long as they have good water and they're fed, they got good grass or hay, whatever you're doing, they'll respect you and they'll understand that. Which leads me to my next point. Another question that I always get, and I think it's really important, maybe one or two of the most popular questions is fencing. What do you do for fencing? What do I need to do to keep the bison in? Well, it's really about personal preference. One of the things that we do, barbed wire. Here on an exterior fence, we've got 5 strands of barbed wire. It's one of the first ones that we built here on the property. Then we started doing 6-wire fence on the exterior. 6-wire fence or 6 strands of barbed wire with, you can do 6.5 or 7 foot tall T-post, and it does great. But one of the things people ask me, when you got bulls or they fight or they try to get out, we keep our bulls separated. That's one thing, that'll save your fence. The other thing is we keep these animals happy, like Dunbar here. He's gentle, he's nice. I still have to pay attention and be careful with him. He's a nice bull. We spend a lot of time around him. And that's why he's like this. But we keep these animals happy. How many do I start with? I started with Eleanor here. I started with 5 yearlings. I got 1 bull and 4 female yearlings. I lost one early. Within my first year, I lost my first animal. I was in a trailer. I was moving them back and forth to the vet, Doc Parsons in Stratford, Oklahoma. Got her vaccinations, was bringing her back home, and she had been gored right into her lungs. That was the loss of my first heifer, my first year. Not a great experience, but that's part of it. It's not what you want, but it's all a learning curve. So what we did is, after I lost that heifer in the trailer, moving them back and forth to the vet to get their spring vaccinations, my wife and I decided we're gonna invest in a handling system. And so that's what we did. We invested in a handling system, put a lot of work into it, creating a tub and doing some pipe work and some fencing to create our own handling system here on our ranch. That's something you're gonna have to think about. You can't just let these animals out in the pasture when you get home. If you wanna be successful and you wanna do the right thing, you've gotta work your animals. Up in the north, they have to work them mostly once, sometimes twice a year. In the south, where we are, like in Oklahoma or Texas, we've gotta work our animals at least 2 times a year, sometimes 3. And that's because of the parasites that exist here, because of the climate, your environment, weather, all those things that go into consideration. That all depends on where you're located, what you're gonna deal with. But you be prepared and ready to work your bison. Find a good vet. Have a vet relatively close to you, because you're gonna get sick animals, you're gonna have questions, you're gonna need to work them, and you're gonna need somebody that knows a little bit about these guys. Also, when you purchase your very first animals, be ready to have them in a corral system. You have to have a home base for these animals. When you bring them home, it's a new environment to them. Like when we brought Big Joe home, he had been in a completely different area. We had to put Big Joe and the two ladies in this heavy duty pipe fence. And what we started using, what you call continuous panels. This is a continuous panel that come in 20-foot sections, 6 bar. What we did is we set 2 3/8 pipe every 10 feet. And it's solid, and it can handle big bison like Big Joe. Also, the great thing about these working panels is we can work the bison in here, we can push them, and they may bounce off these a little bit, but they won't tear something like a fence down. You can't work your bison around something like this. You can't push them with your ATV or do all that stuff. Have a home base for them where you've got water, good fresh clean water. You can also feed your animals in this area when you come home. It lets them know, hey, I've got you, I'm gonna take care of you, this is your new home. Introduce them to a good place, make them feel happy, all that good stuff. Let them know they're gonna be taken care of before you just let them out in the pasture and let them take off, because you may not catch them and they may run through your fence. When buying your animals, really look at something what we call confirmation. Know what you're going in for, know what you're looking at. Make sure you're buying good animals. Okay, you want to, if you're starting a herd, make sure you're starting off with good animals. I started off with what I felt like good animals. I was diverse. I bought from a really good producer, a well-known producer, and I trusted him. And then I also bought from other places too. I love getting animals from different areas. But one of the things you need to consider is where you buy your animals from, depending on if it's a national park or a large ranch. How wild are your animals? Be ready to, when you bring them home, to put them in a pen like this, because they may be kind of wild. They may be a little bit crazy if you buy them from big places where they don't see people that often. A lot of producers spend time with their bison, like you see on my videos. I spend a lot of time around our bison, and that's why they're calm and they get used to us. The only time they're not calm is when they get riled up and they all get energy and want to run around, or you get in the pen with them and you try to work them. Go back and watch some of my videos. When you corner a bison and you pin them up, what do they do? Guys, also, you may watch some of my videos, and if you haven't, I get up close and I get up personal to a couple of my bison. I don't do that with Big Joe that often because I don't really quite trust him. Also, he's about 2,000 pounds. You got to be careful. Even though mine are calm, you may see some of mine in my videos. They spend a lot of time around me, my stepdad Kevin, and so they get used to us. And we do that so that we can easily handle these animals, low stress, and then when we work them, it's also a low stress situation, and we want them to stay as calm as possible when we work them twice a year. Also, you can't just buy one bison. When you're thinking about going to purchase your bison, you can't just buy one. Guys, these are very social animals. You see their unique character. Every single bison has its own personality and its own character, which that's part of why I love these animals. But you can't just buy one. These animals have to be around each other. They're a family and they have to be close with each other. Don't ever pin a bison up by itself, and if you do, it'll stress out. Make sure if you're going to purchase bison, always at least get 2. They've got to have a companion. They've got to have a buddy. That's just the way these animals are. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I've helped you out a little bit. If you got any questions, you can always email me, reach out to me, and contact me, guys. Number 1, sign up for the NBA. Get a part of the National Bison Association. Be a member. There's a lot of good resources and a lot of good people, and that's another great thing is they offer 2 conferences, one in the winter and then one in the summer. I've been to both, and they're both great conferences. The people there do a great job, and the great thing about the Bison association is the people. When you go to these associations, it's all one big family. We're all a part of one thing, and that's raising these awesome animals. We all have the same thing in mind. We may do things different, and we may raise them different ways, but we all have one thing in mind, and that goal is to grow the numbers. Bison 1 million, that's the goal. We're close to about 600,000 bison in North America right now, and we just want to keep those numbers growing. I also want to let you know I'm doing something different this time. I'm going to the Missouri Bison Sale, March 20th. My wife and I and baby Brooks, we're going to go to the Bison Sale in Missouri. Never been to this one before, but what I'm going to do is I may buy some bison. We'll see, keep you updated on that. But I'm going to follow a guy by the name of Noah Gibson around, part of Broken Arrow Bison. He's located in Kansas. He has raised bison before, and what I'm gonna do is my wife and I, we are going to actually film the whole process, and what we're gonna do is follow him along on his journey of starting a herd. He's building this fence right now. He's been working hard on that, updating a lot of stuff, but he's gonna go back into it with his family. He's raised bison. It's been about 7 years. He's raising bison again, which is awesome. And I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna bring you along with me to be a part of that journey. And it may just give you an idea, along with this video, of what it takes to purchase bison and start your own herd. And maybe Noah and I can help you do that. So follow us along. Stay tuned for one of my upcoming videos of following Noah and his family, purchasing and starting his own herd. Thank you guys for watching Cross Timbers Bison. Thank you for following it. If you haven't, hit that subscribe button, guys. Go sign up for the NBA right now. Reach out to your local state association if they have one, and reach out to me if you need anything, guys. Thank you. Hey guys, so told you I had some big projects going. Well, so some big things happened today. My well guy, his name's Mark, he's out of Wynnewood, does a great job. He came out here, I helped him pull out my old pump. It was just corroded and dead. You can see the damage of it right here. That sucker was gone. So I told him, I said, get this thing going. I don't know anything about water wells. I've never used them before. I said, get this sucker going. Got a new pump. He redid some plumbing in here for me. My electrician got all of this going basically whenever we got power to the barn. Don't forget we got power to the barn. Woo, that's nice. We've got power out here, and that's when we're able to get this thing going. Finally got my well guy out here because we got our power straight, got our 220 amps going. And this is where the pump goes down in here. It was only in there 33 feet when we pulled it out, and he put it basically about the same level last time, and rigged all this up for me. I know there's lots of wires and stuff around. I'm using got an outlet here, which is nice. Got a light bulb here. It's an air pressure tank. I really don't know a ton about these, but I'll tell you what, when he came out here and he tested the water, guys, it was pumping 30 gallons a minute, and he said that's really good. So I said, all right, well, I've been wanting to do these automatic water systems throughout our pastures, throughout our paddocks. And so it started right here, and we have a well that was already here, already drilled from the old dairy farm, and so I got it going. And that's basically what I'm talking here about. He's got us a hookup here for the hose we can run to. We've got a 1-inch line. So here's our shutoff for our main. We're gonna come out here. There's an old line there. It looks like it's a inch or 3/4. But off of this, we're gonna come with our inch, and we're gonna be able to start our watering systems. So really excited that he got all this set up for me. And we got a lot of the old stuff replaced, the new stuff. So this is an old existing line here. It's gonna come out. Just that was pretty easy. We're gonna trench all the way down into the pastures where I'm gonna set up some water systems. So what am I gonna get? Well, there's lots of choices out there, and I've talked to a lot of people. What are we gonna get for our water systems? What can we get that is gonna keep Bison from breaking it? You guys know how Dunbar is. When he's just being himself, he's being a jackwagon. You guys know that he can destroy stuff. So what we did is I took advice from Doc Parsons up at Stratford Animal Hospital. You guys know my bison guy that I take a lot of advice from, who's done it for a long time. And a lot of people in the north, this is becoming more and more popular, and it's actually tough to find these, but I've got a couple and I'm gonna get a couple more. We're gonna use these right here. So you may have seen these before. They're old, I call them loader tires, but they're on these big machinery, big old trucks. This is not your normal tractor tire. You can tell they've sat here for a minute because I got them last year free. I got these free. This sucker looks like it's hardly been used. This one has seen better days, but this one, it was bad, had a bad wall, and so there's nothing they can do with these. So I was able to get them for free, which is awesome. Because if you get into some automatic water systems, and I know there's people out there that use them, I just was trying to find something that was indestructible, okay? And I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on those fancy water systems. I know, you know, it may be smart, but in the end, this is gonna last. I mean, this sucker is thick. I'm gonna have a heck of a time. I've got to cut out this ring with my Sawzall. I've heard it takes a lot of blades too, by the way. But basically, we're gonna cut all the way around here and around here. But this, like on a day like this, if it was below freezing, that sun's coming down on this and it's going to heat this up and it's going to keep it from freezing, keep the water from freezing. Not that it gets very cold here in Oklahoma, but the other thing is we're going to put concrete on the inside of this, and our 1-inch line is going to come up with an automatic water valve on it. And these things are going to be sunk in concrete, and I mean, the only way you can move them is with the tractor. That's how heavy these guys are. And so I'm really excited to use them. I'm going to put at least 3 out on the farm. So yes, that's what I'm using. A lot of you said something to me before when I mentioned what I'm using for my water systems. You were asking about the toxins in the rubber. Well, guys, I haven't heard anything about toxins. I'm sure there's some out there, but I haven't heard anything bad about these, to be honest with you. They're big and heavy, and you got to have a tractor to move them. You got to set them in concrete. There's some labor behind this, and so I've got some work to do. This is a big project too, because once we get the water established, you know what that means. Can do rotational grazing, and we can move the bison around. So excited to get this going, because this is actually one of the last big projects we have on this property for our bison. And guys, we will be clicking at that point. And so just at that point, we're just going to continue to grow the herd, which is my goal. Next thing is I'm going to trench. I got to hook up the hoses inside the well house. I've got to hook that stuff up. We're going to run a 1-inch Schedule 40 pipe out through the pastures, and this may be quite a process. I may be breaking this down into, you know, a couple videos, so stay tuned, guys, and watch as I do all this work for the bison to try to get our water system established. So as far back to the well house, I've got to get a door over this. I've got to insulate this thing, fill in all the cracks. Kevin and I put a new roof on it with some sheet metal. Made it out of sea purlin because we had to tear the existing structure off. It was wood and it was old and rotted. I had to tear out the old door and the door frame. So I've got some fill-in crack stuff I'm gonna fill in here, some sealant, and then I've got some insulated boarding I'm gonna put up here between the sea purlin up against the sheet metal. Gonna get this thing ready because you've got to keep it warm in the winter, obviously, and you can't have anything freeze up or we'll have some issues going. Buddy. Come on. There's a couple of places down by me. One of them's called Antler Ridge. You may try those, and then you may try Aspen Cabin. Yeah, okay, Aspen, Colorado, and then Antler Ridge. Ready when you are. Open. Here it goes. Hey guys, it's Dusty Baker with Cross Timbers Bison. Welcome back to our channel. Got a special event today. We are up just outside of Butler, Missouri. Me, baby Brooks, and the wife Marissa. I made a special trip up here for a good friend of mine. His name's Noah Gibson. Noah is, besides myself, is another guy that has started a YouTube channel. He's already started. He's got several videos out there. I think maybe 17 or so. But Noah came and visited me a couple months ago and came all the way down to our farm, see how everything was going. So we're here to kind of show you Noah's story. Noah raised bison, I don't know, about 7 years ago or so, and he completely got out, had to change the plans in life and whatnot, just how life happens. He got out of raising bison and now he's ready to get back in. He missed being around these animals so much. He's been working on, oh, what's wrong? He's been working hard on getting his pens ready and building new fence and all kinds of stuff. You can go back and watch some of his videos of prepping for the bison. He's located in Kansas, so we're not actually very far from his farm, maybe an hour and a half. So we're at the Mocan Livestock Market just outside of Butler, Missouri, and we are going to film Noah purchasing his first animals for his herd. He's going to start raising bison again. I'm really excited for Noah and his family. They're going to be here for the journey. Brooks is excited. Noah was asked to judge this morning for the sale. So there's a show and a sale, and it's just kind of lumped into one deal. You can go back and see some of my videos of how the show and the sale goes down as well. and it'll be fun being a part of Noah's journey. And we're gonna take these animals all the way back to his farm in Kansas, and we're gonna release his first herd of animals back on his farm. So we're gonna go in here and look around. I think the judging is over with, and we're gonna go see Noah and introduce Noah to you guys, and we're gonna go take a look at the animals inside the barn. What do you think? See those bison? Huh? This is a huge facility. It's awesome. This place is huge. It's one of the biggest sale barns I've been to. And I don't know exactly how many bison are here today, but there's quite a few. A little bit more than our Oklahoma sale. This sale typically has a herd over 250 animals. But I think there's supposed to be 150 at this sale this year. So, but this is a really cool facility, and we're gonna go down here, and this catwalk is awesome. It's a safe way to look at the animals up above, get a different view. But we're gonna go down and take a look at them now.
Got about 12, got about 12, got about half, got about 12 and a half, got about 12 and a half, 12 and a half, got about 13, got about half, got about 14, got about 13, and now half, got about 5, got about 11, and now 12, got about 13, got about 13, got about 14, got about 14, 13, got 14, and now 14 and a half, got about 14, y'all done, 13 and a half, 14, sold them up high, 1,407. Okay, okay.
Got you one.
Yeah. Okay, this is Don's orbit. Nice dark. Right here they are. Yep, hand put it 11 quarter, 11 and a half. Half all done. 11 and a half. I'm going to internet, you're out. I'm going to 11, 11 and a half. 11, I'm going to 11 and a half. I'm going to 11, I'm going to 11 and a half. I'm going to 11 and a half. So 11 high. Put them on 7, 76. I 25, got about 2 and a half, 5, got about 22 and a half, got about 25, got about 5, and now 7 and a half, got about 3,000, got about 3,000, got about 2 and a half, and now 35, got about 35, got about 35, got about 2 and a half, 5, 7 and a half, and now 4,000, got about 10, 10 and a half, got about 10, 10 and a half.
All right, Noah, so what'd you get?
We got 4 heifers.
4 heifers, all right.
Yeah, so we're thinking about getting 4 to 6 animals, and thinking about getting a bull, but we ended up holding off on the bull and got 4 heifers today. So,
and it's been 7 years, right?
It's been 5 years.
5 years.
7 years since I started.
7 years since Noah started raising bison, and he's been ready and excited to get back to it again. You think you missed him, didn't you?
A little bit, just a little bit.
These 2 cool animals, awesome animals.
We're very excited.
Yeah, well, that's good. Noah's family was here, and Marissa and I and Brooks were here, and I'm excited for Noah and his family to get back to raising these bison again. And the cool part about it is he gets to do it with his family and kids, and it's gets to get back in it. So, and you know, Noah's, I mean, how old are you, Noah?
23, yeah, 33.
Noah's close to my age, so it's good to see, you know, the young blood is what the older guys call it in this generation. So it's fun to have Noah around. We can kind of do all this stuff together as a brotherhood and a friendship. So I'm glad that we're here. Let's get her loaded up.
They got one hell of a house.
Fluffies.
Come through and lift this up.
That was bad, a clap. Better, is that the right ones?
Who knows?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they are.
And make sure they're good looking heifers. Noah did a good job. It's always important to start out with good animals when you're raising bison, huh?
Yeah, it is. Had a long conversation with Doc Parsons on that, on the genetics. He was talking about how it goes from, he had a really good bull, and it cut down his time going to the butcher from 3 years to 18 months.
Wow.
So it's really something I've been trying to kind of focus on, is good quality animals.
One thing that I learned was when you start off, you gotta get the best, because that's where it all stems from when you start raising these animals, right, Noah?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Buffalo are fairly easy to raise once you know what you're doing, but if you start on the wrong foot, it makes it even harder.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it does.
Doing everything you can to get good quality animals will set yourself up for future success.
Yes. Like Noah and I, we always learning from the older guys that have been in the business for 30 years. Peter Cole, Gerald Parsons, those guys, we try to listen to them as much as possible. Noah's got a good relationship with Peter Cole up here in Missouri, and of course I'm close to Doc Parsons, but try to learn from those guys as much as possible. But you know, just like Noah and I are young guys, there's a lot of people out there that are getting started in this, and we encourage people to do that. So that's why we're bringing you on this journey. A guy like Noah, now he has had experience with bison before, like I've said before. A little bit of experience, but he's so he's already a little bit of step ahead. He's done research and he's talked to producers that have been in a while, and so this is a step ahead for Noah, and I'm just excited for him to do this. And like I said, we can all do this together. We share ideas, problems that we go through with bison, and kind of share our story.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah.
And our journey through this, and it starts right here with these 4 heifers. He didn't have a bull, but you know, when you've got heifers like this, he can start his foundation herd, or his conservation herd is what I like to call it, and then he can get a bull, and he can be pretty selective, just like we're talking about, good genetics and those sort of things. Noah will eventually pick out a good bull,
right,
at some point, and he'll have opportunities to do that as well, so that he can grow his herd, just like me. I started 3 years ago. It takes a while. It does. A minute with bison. So, but okay, what are we doing next?
We're heading home, and we'll release them into a corral, and we'll keep them in the corral for a week or two, get them to calm down a little bit, and feed them a little bit of range cubes, get them used to me, and then from there they'll be out on pasture.
Boom.
So this is the start.
And it's a good timing, because he's gonna bring them home, like I've always talked about, put them in a home base, and then the grass is already starting to grow around here. And he's located in southeast Missouri. Sorry, he's located in southeast Kansas, and pretty soon it'll be perfect timing for these ladies to get out on the grass and do what they do best, huh? Yeah. So
this is southeast Kansas, and they were made for this area.
Yeah, absolutely.
This whole plains area, especially even where Dusty's at, this is where they thrive.
Yep, that's exciting. All right, well, let's get them home. Marissa and I and Brooks are gonna follow Noah and his family, and we're gonna follow the trailer back to his home, and we're gonna release them there.
All right, let's go release some buffalo.
All right, let's go. Ready when you are. Open. There it goes. Ready when you are. Open. There it goes. Ready when you are. Open. There it goes. Let's go, ladies. Come on, girls. Let's go, ladies. Come on, girls. Come on. Come on, girls. All right, guys, we made it back to Noah's farm here and got the heifers released. Got them temporarily in a corral. Gonna keep them here. This is a home base just for a little bit. He's already got some hay out for them. They got a spring. How cool is that? Got some water flowing right here, some fresh water for him. He's gonna have them in here for about 2 weeks or so, maybe.
Yeah, that's the goal.
That's the goal. Let them get used to the environment, new smells, new land, new grass, all that good stuff, new people. And what I like about these heifers, whenever you go and select your animals, or you go to purchase animals, these heifers are calm. They didn't even hardly move around in the trailer. They're pretty calm animals, and that's awesome. That's easier for him and his family when they go to take care of them. But one thing that I noticed out here is we always talk about fencing. You've seen how much I do on fencing and all that stuff, but notice this here. This is a little bit different, but I want Noah to talk about his electric fence system that he's been working on this for a while now. And you can see we're in Kansas. It's wide open grassland country, just perfect for these bison. But he's got this going, and I like what he's doing. Noah, you want to tell us about what you did here and how you built your fence and stuff?
Yeah, so this is high tensile electrified fence. Originally, this kind of came out of New Zealand. Before I got buffalo, I looked into trying to figure out what was going to be the optimal fence for buffalo. Some guys, just like Dusty, they've got barbed wire, which works great if your fences are taut, if your buffalo are respecting to it. Any fence, I don't care who you are, any fence can be tested by buffalo if it's not in proper order or the animals don't respect it. So there's a lot of different processes with fencing, but the way I really like to go with it is electric fence. And if you go with an electric fence, the high tensile is really where it's at. One strand of this high tensile is really strong. Cost on this high tensile is cheaper than barbed wire.
Yep.
So like barbed wire for a good roll, you can look at $100 to $120 a roll for a quarter mile roll. This here, for top of the line, you're looking at 170,000 psi, and you're at $100 for 4,000 feet. Same amount of strands, 6 strands. The other thing that you'll save on is doing T-posts. Rule of thumb is about 30 feet apart on the T-posts. You know, given ditches, you can go a little bit more, a little bit less, but that's one thing you'll save. One cost you'll have is the insulators, which is not that high of a cost, and then you'll have your charger.
Yep.
But all in all, it's a really low maintenance fence to build. One of the really good aspects about it is if you have, let's say, a tree fall on it, since these posts are 30 foot apart, a lot of times what will happen is tree will take down this fence all the way to the ground. You can cut the tree up and literally the fence will pop back up for itself.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, taking and retightening it or putting on new insulators is really not that bad at all. I talked to somebody who had a whole car plow through their fence.
Jeez.
And took them about 10 minutes to fix it. You do have to train these animals to respect hot wire. That's one thing you really need to think about. These animals were bought at auction, and unless I know exactly where they came from, I don't know if they're are familiar with hot wire and know what it is. So I don't want them to be introduced with it and freak out and try to get out. Yep. So I want to introduce it to them slowly. I'll put a hot wire in there when they have a controlled environment with the corral, and then they'll be able to figure out what it is, and then from there, really for the rest of their life, they'll understand what it is and they'll respect it.
Yeah. So they'll just be in here for a couple weeks, like I said, and then he's gonna let them out here in transition, and then they'll be started to get used to this, and is what Noah's talking about. And a lot of people do this part of their pasture rotations. They use a lot of this electric fencing, but that'll be another story. I won't be here for that, but you guys can go check Noah out at Broken Arrow Bison. I'm sure you'll be filming the process of everything. And this is a beginner stage. You guys didn't really get to catch me in my beginner stage. When I brought mine home a long time ago, I was way too embarrassed to film myself, and a lot of people had to talk me into it to where I'm at now. But you'll be able to catch that. Noah's gonna let them out, and that's the fun part, is letting them out, getting them some grass right here at the beginning of, we're about to get in the summer, which is what bison do well, and that's out there grazing grass. So cool. What's next, Noah, for you? I mean,
well, really, we're just looking at growing the herd. This is just the beginning. We need, these are 4 heifers. We need a bull, and probably either over the summer we're going to be buying more animals, or this fall we're going to be buying more animals, and really just every 6 months to the year we're going to be buying more. This is a beginning stage of a large-scale bison herd, believe it or not. You got to start somewhere.
Yep. We are actually going to go, Noah and his family are going to feed us some food, and we're going to let these ladies settle down for a little bit and kind of get used to their new home. And then Marissa and Brooks and I are going to head home back to Oklahoma, because we miss seeing our bison. But I just want to thank Noah for letting us, or asking us, to be a part of this, and coming all the way up here to Missouri. We had a dinner last night, a buyer's dinner, and we were able to sit down in the meeting for the Missouri Bison Association. It was cool meeting some good people and hanging out with Noah. And then he actually judged this morning for your first time.
I did.
Yeah. Well, that's quite an accomplishment, and you can learn a lot from judging other people's animals and stuff. So good experience for him, and you know, get to come out here and raise these awesome animals. So thank you, Noah, for letting us be a part of this journey with you and your family, and that we're excited for you. And we'll be in touch, and we'll talk about all the things that we do differently and that we try to, you know, learn from each other, and I'm sure we'll keep up with all that fun stuff.
Well, I really want to thank you for driving,
you bet,
5-6 hours up here to be able to film this.
Yeah,
it's really exciting for us. We've been really anticipating this for like about the past 5 years.
I know.
So this is just something we are ecstatic
Good.
to get back on track with raising these majestic animals.
Absolutely.
So thank you for doing what you do.
You bet, man. And I'm glad Noah reached out to me and has several times to come and to our farm and check it out when he came back and interviewed me. And so this is how it all starts, and you guys can do this too. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to Noah or I. Like I said, go check him out. There's not very many of us on YouTube, but Noah's another guy just like myself that branched out there and want to do something different for the bison world, because we just really love and appreciate these animals. Thank you guys for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to us, check Noah out at Broken Arrow Bison. Thank you guys for following us. Something's going on. It seemed a little fishy. I wasn't sure what was going on. is now in our pasture. Was in his for about, I guess, maybe a week. Hey guys, it's Dusty Baker, Cross Timbers Bison. Welcome back to our channel. This is kind of a different video, a special video. Kind of a special occasion, maybe I should say. Got Brooks hanging out with me. Some of you may have already seen this or heard about it, but good friend of mine, Noah, who you saw in one of my previous videos, went to Missouri. Me and my wife and Brooks went to Missouri. We went up there to film Noah and his family getting their first herd of bison, to start a bison herd. We had a fun time in Missouri with them. We came home, talked to Noah a little bit, asked him how his heifers were and how his calves were. And see, Noah came back and reached out to me in the fall of 2020. He came out, he you know, he's getting back into it, and he's gonna start a YouTube channel. He came and visited me, and he talked to me and hung out, and he interviewed me and whatnot. We stayed in touch. And then we went to Missouri and we did all of that. And then we came back home, and just a normal Saturday. Typically the weekends is when we spend a lot of time with the bison. That's just what we do. It's our time to hang out with the bison, and we work on the farm. Well, my wife was like, are we gonna go to the farm? Let's go see the bison. So we loaded up and came over. Noah sent me a text and asked me if I was gonna be around the farm in the next 35 minutes. And I'm like, what in the world? What's going on? And he travels a lot for work and going and seeing other bison producers. And I'm like, okay, he's just traveling around. And then he said, bring a GoPro. And I'm like, something's going on. It seemed a little fishy. I wasn't sure what was going on. So anyways, showed up, and I recognize his vehicle, of course, but he's pulling a trailer. And I'm like, oh gosh, what is going on here? And so I looked at Marissa, and I get over there, and of course he's got number 90 heifer calf that he bought at the sale. All along, I had no idea the same calf I was looking at that he purchased was gonna be one of mine. Had no idea. So when I got here, he walked over there, and he's got the calf in there. That little heifer, number 90, is now in our pasture. Was in his for about, I guess, maybe a week or 2 weeks, and now she's here, and totally surprised me, totally shocked me. And
About a month and a half or 2 months ago, when you posted your video about your first heifer calf dying, I had a little wild hair of, hey, what am I gonna do for Dusty for coming out all the way out there and filming our first. I figured this was the one thing you couldn't turn down.
I can't now. I can.
Oh, you're right. Oh my gosh. So she is the third place according to me.
Let me see.
Watch
I
her.
see. Hold on.
Seriously,
Hold on.
you don't have to do this, man.
No, I wanted to, seriously.
Oh my gosh, man. This is awesome. What? Are you serious?
Appreciate it. You've been a tremendous help, and
I told her, I was like, he's up to something. He said, when you said bring the GoPro, I'm like, okay, this is something's going on.
I had to ask her last week if you guys were going to be out here.
Oh.
Because I've been planning this for about 2 months, and I'm like, how in the world am I going to guys?
Let me tell
get
you.
these guys?
Oh.
She was like, no, you're not. I said, no, yes, I am.
Trying to get him like pinned down on a schedule or like where he needs to be at any particular time without him knowing the reason why is very difficult.
This is crazy, man. Thank you so much. Let him out. Our cat. Okay. That's good, y'all. Look out. Hey. That's good. Look at him. stupid rooster. Just incredible. That's what this is about. Is Noah watches all my videos, and you know, we're kind of a community. Bison people are a community, and I know there's not very many bison YouTubers out there. We kind of keep up with each other and whatnot. Well, Noah noticed and knew that I had lost a calf back in January, and you guys saw the video of that this year, that I had lost a heifer calf, my very first ever heifer calf, which was really tough on me. And Noah's been down that road, and he remembered that, and I think he started scheming a plan the whole time, and I had no idea. Even when I went to that sale and actually saw that heifer and watched him buy her and help him unload her and all that at his property. This is what this is about. I'm very fortunate and lucky, first of all, to do this, all of this, okay? We're so lucky to do what I do. Lucky my wife lets me do this, and she supports me. And we've got this little girl here who's eating some hay. Get to do all this together. And so it's about relationships. It's about community. It's we're all in this for these animals here. We raise these animals because they're unique. You know, that word we always use, majestic, fantastic animals. Just there's so many positive ways to describe these animals, and we get to be around them. What are you doing? You gonna let him out? You gonna let Eleanor out? Say hi, Eleanor. Tell her hi. There you go. We're just very blessed and very lucky to be able to raise these animals. And you know what, guys? The other thing that you may not understand or know about, but just like going to these bison conferences or keeping up with the people that you get to know along this journey, that's what it's about. It's about the relationships. And just like when I go to those conferences, it's way different than the cattle industry, because when you go there, everybody's there for the same reasons. They're all there to raise together a story and a journey of raising these bison. And they've all started it, you know, somewhere. They've all had a beginning. And it's been a story for lots of people. And when you go to those conferences, it's like a big family. And that's what we love about it. And that's what I really enjoy about it. Hey, you can't go in there. That's just one of the great things about the bison industry and the National Bison Association is everybody's willing to help. There's no secrets or anything about raising these animals. Everybody has one goal in mind, that's to raise these awesome animals. And so we have the opportunity to do that. And then just part of this business is you can make good relationships. You can go to those conferences, and yes, you're gonna learn. You can learn from other producers, but it's about the bonding that you get to make with these people about these animals and share each other's stories and whatnot. And that's the fun part about this whole deal, is she gets to be a part of this, not with your hand in the pen, good Lord, but it's you get to do all this together with friends along the way. And that's what you guys really don't see on my side of it. That's one of the benefits about this whole organization, this whole association. It's a family. That's what we've created, and that's what Noah and I have created, and that's what it's about. And it's gonna grow. We want that to continue, and we want our kids, hey, we want our kids to be a part of this as well. You guys may not get to see that much. I just wanted to share that with you. Very lucky and very thankful for Noah and his family. Very surprised and shocked that he would even do something like that. And we didn't ask for anything. You know, Noah comes down here, drives 5.5 hours on a Saturday, drives all the way down here with his wife and kids, basically gives us the calf, surprises me, and then we hang out for a little bit. We release her in the pasture, and then they got to go all the way back to Missouri so they don't get home too late. And that's awesome. I can't ask for a better friend regardless if he gave me a calf or not. Noah's a good guy. I just hope that we continue growing relationships like what Noah and I have, or I should say our families now have, because it's awesome. And it's a great experience. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Get out there. Oh. So far, she's doing great. She's kind of over there by herself a little bit. She comes up and she's eating grain. She hangs out and plays with the other calves. We're just excited to have an addition to this bison herd. As you guys know, I just want to grow the herd. That's kind of my motto right now, is just grow the herd. And thankful for Noah, we grew a herd fast and unexpectedly. The herd grew. So having those females, which means we can have more calves in the future, and that's exciting. And plus, I think she's from Iowa. Going back and looking at the paperwork, I think she's from Iowa, so that's exciting to have some different genetics here. Are you getting mad? Can't get in there? Are you getting mad? Hey, look at Eleanor. I can't wait to see what this heifer has in store. I'm just excited to have her here on this farm. And the great thing about it is we'll be able to talk about her for, you know, hopefully the next 20 years or so, and get to share our stories about Noah doing what he did, and all the babies that we hope to see out of her. Thank you guys for following us. I appreciate you guys wanting to be a part of this story and wanting to be a part of this journey. If you haven't subscribed to us, guys, we are raising the American bison here. I just want to thank Noah and his family for surprising me. That's awesome. I just completely blown away by it. I still can't thank him enough for doing that, for taking the time out of his weekend and them driving this far down here to do this. I hope to continue the relationships that are a part of raising these awesome animals, guys. Just thank you for watching. Also have a new shirt. I want you guys to check it out. Kind of came up with that, Pioneer of the Plains. You guys can check this shirt out online. I don't have a whole lot of these shirts. This is the very first time we've ever printed this shirt. So if you want to, go on our website at crosstimbersbison.com and you can actually buy this shirt. It's on there. I have a limited supply in this color. It's kind of like a heather green color, maybe a military green color. If you're interested, you can go online and buy that. Thank you guys. See, what's nice about this camera is I can see, Brooks, this is a GoPro 9. I do a lot of my filming off it, and I can see the front screen. So I can always keep an eye on the munchkin. I've actually used this same trencher before to run my lines for the electricity to our new barn here, from the pole, and then also to our well house sitting right here. I did this a while ago, so I've been really excited to get the second half and the finishing product done with this bad boy right here. Okay, so here's one of the old existing lines, the 1 inch that comes right in here. Get off here, we're gonna 90. We're gonna go down. This will have to be covered, obviously, because of cold weather. Go down, and we're gonna start trenching, and I'll stop along the way. We're gonna put a line here. We're gonna be able to put some water here that we can use in the future, water the animals. We're gonna go straight through the pasture where the bison are, and I'll show you where we're going from there. Already had to get that hoodie off because it is getting warm already. But I ran into, here's the old line. It's like a 1-inch line. Got some pieces of it, and now I think I've basically got off of it. It's running here to the left, but I mean, this is what I'm gonna deal with. Something I didn't mention is I'm gonna be facing a lot of this stuff, which I did when I laid the old trench for the electric lines. So should be fun. That will probably be my biggest holdup with this guy, is the rock here. You get about 1.5 feet below the topsoil, and that's where the rocks really start. So depends on what I run into with that situation. But something else I want to mention, I'm going to go at least 2 feet deep on this. That's my goal. In Oklahoma, it only has to be 18 inches deep for your water lines, but with the recent winter blast, like you know, we went through, Oklahoma and Texas went through, and all the problems it caused, we're gonna go at least 2 feet just to be safe. And I know that was kind of a weird deal that never gets this cold here. So we're gonna go at least 2 feet deep. So got our main line coming right through here, and then I've teed off because I'm going to put a water spigot right here, and then here we're going to put our main line. Going to move this feed trough out of the way, and then we're going to start heading right basically to there. Man, that's a really nice glow. Well, while I'm trenching out here, Kevin and I put some field fence up on this stretch right here. A long time ago, it was one of our first cross fences to create this lot right here. It was the lot where I actually put Dunbar's toy. He hasn't been in this lot in a long time, but we haven't had any animals in this lot in a while, and we put our ranch or a field fence up that we could use as a calf weaning lot. Calves have been in here. You know, I lost one heifer, and anyways, I've got 2 calves, and I've got Eleanor, oh lovely sweet Eleanor, in here right now. And so what I'm gonna do is, you gotta, when you wean them, you gotta be in something solid like this for a while, because those calves, they're gonna want to get out. They get stressed out some. Of course, that's why they have to be together, but they gotta have something solid for these calves. But now I'm gonna let them out here because we do have this field fence where they can't get out. Barbed wire, it's not safe to keep the calves in because they're gonna want to get out with the herd, which is way out there, and try to get it back out to mama. So that's why we keep them in something solid like this. But now it's time to get them out, and there's some green grass here. It's starting to pop up after the warm weather we have. So I'm gonna let them out here and let them run around. So it's a good chance they could get pretty excited. Guys, we'll go out and have some fun. Eleanor. Didn't waste any time. Found what they missed, and that's green grass. They love it. Oh, there he is. I knew there'd be some excitement. There's a couple of places down by me. One of them's called I'm down here in the bottom pasture. You may have recognized the piles here. Got the new cross fence right here. So we've got a bottom paddock here, top paddock there, and another bottom, bigger bottom here. These old terraces on these farms, and these old pasture lands, I may use it to my advantage here, because wherever we put this water trough or these tire tanks, I want it on a hill so that if water does run off, if the bison, you know, come up to drink it and they make a mess, whatever, the water's gonna run off down the hill. I think that's important. You don't want to build one of these tire tanks down below, like where the water, you can see where the old water line sits down here in this dark area, and then it wraps around and there's a pond sitting right in there. So that water, when it rains and it comes off the hill, that watershed, it sits right here. We don't want the bison to get in that and trample it and stomp it really good. So I think we're gonna put our tire tank right here on the hill, on this old terrace mound that runs right through here, and you can kind of see it. So we're gonna use this to our advantage. We're also gonna put rock around our tire tank. So right here, we'll probably take the T-post out. I set a pipe here and set a pipe here, and we'll put a bar across it just to keep the bison out of the water tanks and not damaging the products or the stuff inside the pipe inside. I'll talk about that stuff later when we start installing the tire tanks. So right here, I'm gonna trench this out some, because I'm gonna lay my tire sort of down in the earth a little bit into the ground, and then I'm gonna trench just to the side of that pile all the way back up to the top. Oh. 25 minutes later, with a good old rock bar and some effort. Rock laying down sideways. The bison are grateful. Just about done trenching, but I just want to show you guys what I'm dealing with. It's kind of a low bottom where I built my new fence right here. But I mean, look at that. I'm not even a foot deep here. I am there, but right here. You're going, well, golly, Dusty, that ain't very deep. You're right, it's not. You know, I'm getting anywhere from 18 to 24 inches in most places. About 80% of this has been rock. And I'm not talking just wee size. I'm talking, and this doesn't even do scale justice on here. But rocks, lots of rocks. And this was slow. This really slows Kevin and I down. And there's a bunch of these little size guys. You see how big it is fitting in my hand. Then you take something like this. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to lift that. that we're fighting against through here, all for a good reason. But still, this has been a pain in the you-know-what. It sucks. It flat out sucks. I don't know another way to put it. There's no other way to put this. Hey guys, I'm gonna go out and have some fun. Eleanor. Hey, silly. You're on the wrong side. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Oh, you goofball. Gotta stop and poop first. Hey guys, it's Dusty Baker with Cross Timbers Bison. Welcome back to our channel. Guys, we are raising the American bison. Had a lot going on here recently, as if you watched my past couple of videos, had a lot going on with Noah, the Missouri sale, and then what's going on here at the Bison Ranch is a big project. As you know, I'm installing a automatic water system for our Bison Ranch, and it's a lot of hard work, as you can tell. A lot of sweat has been happening, but we are getting very close, and I'm getting super excited. But what I have in store for you today, today I'm gonna start laying the actual line. It's a 1-inch schedule 40 20-foot joint pipe. I'm gonna start laying that today, actually, and kind of got some interesting stuff for you. I went ahead and threw this in there, but while I've been working, there's just one day I was working out here. I let Big Joe out and Kit and Flo, them three together. I let them out every now and then. You know, it's getting green grass and whatnot. Well, Dunbar is getting feistier and feistier. I don't know what's in the air. What's been going on is Dunbar gets pretty hyped up. It's Dunbar's home. Dunbar's been here forever, basically. And so I let Big Joe out, and what happened, I was actually pretty nervous at this point, but their moods are starting to change a little bit, and I don't know if it's because of calving season is around the corner, or, you know, breeding season is 2 or 3 months away. I don't know what's going on. It's the spring air, green grass, I'm not sure. Whenever I let Big Joe out, there's just something that goes on between them two, and I think Dunbar is just trying to stand his ground and say, this is my house, I've been here longer. I don't know, but boys will be boys. And these guys, they're started to tear up our fence a little bit, nothing too damaging, but I had to kind of think about if I want to keep doing that a little bit, because I'm gonna show you this. I was just out here working, but and I like to let them out so I can actually see them, but they're able to touch nose to nose, and now that's my number one thing I was not gonna let them do. But you know, I just like to see them out there roaming around and whatnot, and eating the green grass. Yeah, probably not the best idea, but so anyways, they were able to touch nose to nose, and the boys will be boys. They get hyped up, and they have to show their dominance. Well, I couldn't get Big Joe in. I took the ATV out there, and I tried to get Big Joe in, and he was not listening. Of course, he's 2,000 pounds probably. Why wouldn't he listen to me, right? Cubes? No, cubes weren't working at all. So, but I can get cubes for Dunbar. After they settled down, I scratched trying to get Big Joe up. I got Dunbar. I got his attention, and I was able to get him in. with the cubes. And so I got Dunbar put away where they couldn't touch nose to nose. There's an alley basically between them now. It's like 14-foot alley, maybe even more. They couldn't touch nose to nose. And eventually Big Joe calms down, and then I was able to put Big Joe and Kit and Flo up with some feed. And Dunbar finally come down. But that's just the way these guys are. They're not used to each other, and Big Joe is about to be 7 years old. Dunbar is about to be 4. There's a difference there. Dunbar's been here, Big Joe is new. So, you know, these are Dunbar's ladies, and he's got to protect them. So that's what we're dealing with. But I'm gonna have to be much more careful and really make sure Dunbar is further away. So anyways, take a look at this, and hope you enjoy it. Okay, so what I did is I trenched these in sections, and the reason I did that, instead of just doing the whole thing, I had to do that in sections because the bison are out here. My big herd is out here, and they will basically, anytime they see this, they're gonna check it out. They're gonna roll in it and knock all the dirt back in. So anyway, so that means because I have this trench dug, the bison can still get in here, but right now they're down in the bottom pasture. So since they're down in the bottom pasture and I've trenched this, that means we get to start laying the lines. So that's what I'm gonna start doing, is we're gonna start laying our 1-inch PVC down here in this section, and then I'm going to finish trenching later so that the bison, which they already have, I was trenching in some areas and they already knocked some dirt in, jack wagons. So, but lesson learned, don't get a walk behind trencher. I didn't think it'd be that bad, but it's a lot tougher than I thought. Going through these rocks, it sucks. It's taken me a lot longer than I wanted. I should have got the actual tractor or drive. Don't get the walk behind, get the drive kind of. All right, let's start laying this line. Joe. Come on, Big Joe. Come on. Oh, come on. Come on, buddy. Come on. Dunbar, come on, buddy. Got our trench mostly dug out, and I'm just laying the 20-foot 1-inch PVC along here, and I'm going to go through and start connecting these together. I'm going to lay them on the side, let them dry a little bit before I actually drop them in the holes. I got to go back through and clean out some of these gaps where I was running the trencher and get some rocks out of it, and then let these dry a little bit, and then we'll be able to lay them actually in the trench. What do you think? Huh? Skinny? Hanging out with me? Maya, no.
You quit what? You quit rock hounding?
Hey, leave the seaman alone. Get out of the way. You don't have to inspect everything. Get back. Get. Okay, it's late in the day, I'm tired, but I just really want to try this. I've heard horror stories about it, and I just heard it sucks basically. But it's cutting the rims, or the, not sure what you call it, forgive me, but I'm gonna cut the rim out of it. I'm gonna cut this area out of it, and I've watched people do it on videos before and stuff, and I'm gonna use my electric sawzall here and see how it goes. That one's just a little bent, but I got into it. I already started digging into it here once I got my blade in, and I'm gonna see how it goes. I may need to switch out. I'm using the bimetal blade on this sawzall, not a very long one, but we'll see how it goes. This one is scaring the crap out of me. That one's haunting me. That looks like, that is a beast of a tire right there. That is thick old tire, but it's gonna be great for the Bison. All right, wish me luck. Here we go. Hold on there. Okay, got it cut. Moment of truth. Oh, that's not good. All right, apparently the blade's not long enough. Well, shikaka. I got a longer blade. Heck yeah. Well, to be honest with you, that wasn't that bad. That tire is not near as thick as what this beast of a tire is. Up north, those guys, they use a lot bigger ones. Up north, and I've got a buddy in South Dakota, Dakota Pure Bison, up in Mission, South Dakota, and those guys, they've got like a 10-foot tire. He asked me if I had one, because I was talking to him about doing this. I was like, dude, we don't have those tires. We don't have that big of tires down here. So, but this will work. Now, he's running a lot of bison, a lot more bison than me on a lot of acres. You know, we can only go so far on bison on this specific property. But we're starting to reach our max. We're getting close to it. So we don't have to have huge waters. We just have to have waters out there so we can start rotating. Whew. All right, another day. Thank you guys for watching. It has been a heck of a process. It's been a lot of work. I just want to thank Kevin for his help. He takes time out of his day after he gets home from work, helps me out. He helped me out on the weekends, and I just appreciate that greatly. I want to thank my wife too for letting me work on this. I've been out here for 5 or 6 days straight, trenching, getting rock out of the trench, cleaning trenches, you know, taking care of bison, doing those normal things, and then actually laying our PVC everywhere and hooking up the connections. I've been doing this for about 5 or 6 days straight, on and off, helping watch Brooks and doing cabin stuff. So it's been a lot of work, but now I got 2 tires ready to go. I got this beast here ready. I'll get it at some point. Our fittings are set up and everything's ready. We just gotta pick the tires up, set them where they're gonna go, hook up the connections to it, do the last couple minute things, put my flow valve on, float, make sure the water's good with the well, all that before we even set the tires. I'm gonna concrete the tires in, and hopefully we'll have some water tanks after they dry a couple of days. So what a process, but I hope you guys are learning something. You know, I've already made mistakes, and I hope you can learn from them and keep you from making those mistakes. Stay tuned for a next video. I'm trying to put these in line for you and try to do part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. I'm trying to do segments of this so you can kind of see the process of this whole thing. And but hopefully maybe you may use this someday, whatever. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. This is all part of raising the American bison, trying to do things right, whatever the task is, and however much effort you got to put into it, it's all worth it for these animals. And thank you guys for being part of this story and this journey. This place has changed a bunch, and I think once we get this done, this is kind of that last big final project, and that will definitely have some weight off my shoulders, and it'll feel good to have this going. So anyways, thank you guys. Hey guys, Dusty Baker with Temps Bison. Welcome back to our channel. Very excited. It has been a long time coming. Finally, I am gonna start setting our tire waters today. Got the tractor, got the rim of them cut out, got the top cut out. We're ready to be set. Pipe is in the ground and ready to go. Very excited to do this. I'm gonna start pouring and mixing concrete in the base and get it solidified. And in the next couple of days after this concrete settles, we're gonna have some automatic waters hopefully, and everything goes good. So today we're gonna concrete our tire tanks in and get those set. Man, we should be good. I'm super excited. What do you think, buddy? Huh? You guys gonna have some automatic water systems? Oh, what have you been hitting on? I see some orange on that. Oh, yeah, you've been whipping that gate down there, I see. Okay. this is our tire. It's going to be placed in our corral area. You can kind of see the Bison coming up in the lane that we built. I'm going to put it right over here. You can see that PVC coming up. It's a drain pipe. So this is our main holding area, what I call maybe our home base. Got this tire, just clean it out. We're going to haul it in here and get her set. Make sure everything's good in here. Got our first tire set, finally. Took a little bit of adjustment. I'm by myself, so it's okay, and not a problem. But I'll give you a quick tip. Make sure your ground is level. I got it set, and then I had to pull it all the way back out, move it over, and then scrape off this dirt here just from just pulling my dirt, just a little dirt mound here, something simple like that. You may want to consider is to get this thing level. I didn't have the ground level because I had this pile of dirt here, but I got it scraped off and I got it pretty level right now. Another thing is I didn't have this, I just had it sitting in here. I didn't have it completely glued in. This is my drain pipe. I left everything short because I didn't know what it was like putting this tire in here, because I wanted to get this set in here first before I actually started plumbing this up. So now that we've got this, I'm going to obviously come up higher off my 90. We'll get it going from there. Eleanor? What the heck is that? Huh? What is that? Yeah. You guys are gonna like it. There's no water in there yet, buddy. You're just pretending. It's like, yeah, let's see how far I can get down there. No water yet, guys. Very soon. I got everything plumbed. I've been letting it dry. So I finished off my drain pipe here, a 2-inch, and then I've got my 1-inch lead right here. So I made it extra long so we can get this concrete in here. That's my next thing I'm about to start, is I gotta fill all this in with concrete, I got lots of bags of concrete. I'm gonna mix it up and then pour it in here one at a time, one bucket at a time, and then let it dry. And then once it dries, we'll come back and we'll finish our fittings to wherever the level is. Ready to go. Seven and a half bags of concrete, quickcrete, whatever you want to call it, mix. I just was cleaning it up, leveling it out, make sure I was really getting around my seals really good. Got these taped up together just because I didn't want to move it around whenever I was pouring concrete in. I think I'm off just a little bit. The water's flowing down this way. It's got to flow somewhere, but I had to go back and fill in this area. It's really important that you get it level, especially before you set the tire down. Obviously, just little things like that you don't think about, like a little dirt mound or something that you were using to dig out your trench. But I got this tire set in this area. So right now we've got calves and Eleanor out here. This will be our future just calf lot. As they're going through the weaning process, they're going to be able to get some good grass and feed them as well right here in our main area. But what we're going to do is we're going to open this side up, have this side open. This is my home base here, main corral. And what we're going to do is put a bar across here, because we're going to start, got to protect this stuff. We're going to put, and then we're going to put something like this over the top of it, and it's basically going to be a divider here, and we're going to keep the bison separated so that this serves basically two different lots. It serves the corral, and then it also is going to serve this lot right here by dividing it in half. All right, so the next thing is I'm going to start taking the other tires and get them set. I'm out of concrete bags. I wasn't sure how many it was going to actually take. This is a pretty good sized tire, obviously, but I've got to get more bags of concrete. I'm gonna start hauling all the rest of the tires in and doing the fittings. Got 2 more to go. screenings left over from around the farm. We're using concrete for a base. Be a lot of bags of concrete. Dunbar, he's coming to check. Make sure we're good. Set our float, whatever water level is. Let's do that for now. Hey guys, Dusty Baker, Customers Bison. Super excited. I'm about to test the water system and see if our tank fills up. I'm gonna test our corral tank that I've set up. It's our biggest one, and kind of anxious to see what happens. But so what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to turn our water system on. I'm going to leave the camera on at the water valve in our tank, and hopefully it works. So fingers crossed. Really excited. Been a long time coming for this. Hope everything goes well. Here we go. Pressure's good. Damn, we're full of water. All right, here we go. hear water. Hey! Coming. Here's what I want to see is this right here. Make sure this seals good from the tire rim to the concrete. Make sure there's no leakage. This is so exciting. I finally got this done. It's a lot of work, trenching. So much rock that we had to deal with. Kevin and I had to deal with to trench in this property. Ran over like 1,000 feet of PVC. And then setting these in concrete. I still have some work to do. We still have some pipe work to do. I'm gonna put some pipe across here. Try to keep them out of this. I'm stepping it and damaging it. Because I want to try to get in it in the summertime when it's nice and hot. Got to put some dividers here and I come up, remember, because this is going to be split. You've got Eleanor and the two calves out here right now, and then this will be opened up right here. We'll move this panel and this will be part of our main corral system, kind of where we work the bison and whatnot. So it's so nice to finally have at least this. That is a good sign, and that is a start right there. It makes me feel a whole lot better, just that we've got water in here now. Gotta clean this tank out, and excited to finally have this done, and using that old well house that I got tested 2 years ago. I got that water tested maybe a year and a half ago. I got the water tested out of that water well and got it back going, and there's no telling how long it hasn't been running. So it's nice to use the resources that were already here from an original dairy farm. So it's so nice. Okay, so this tank is almost full. One thing I'm trying to watch is to see if it shuts off by this right here. So I may have to adjust my string. Our valve is setting a little higher than I want, but it's okay. We're gonna protect it. We're gonna put a 2x4 or a 2x6 or some metal across it first, but I wanna see if it shuts off here because I have to adjust the string, the length on the actual valve, on the actual float. So it looked like it shut off. So there you go. It worked. It shut off. Success right here is what this is. So very excited. Awesome. This one's ready to go. Come check it out. Tell me what you think. You like it that much, don't you? Now, out of all of them, you'll end up in it. Don't get my water all nasty. Yeah, so in case you guys don't know who this is Eleanor's little bull here. He's a mess. He's a funny little dude. So, guess he likes it. Good sign. Got this one going right here is what I call our silo water. right here. It's coming out. It's going a little slow. That's probably because the big one down in the pasture down there is running. So I'm gonna hop in the ATV and we're gonna run down there. I say Maya and I are gonna run down here and see if the one in the bottom pasture is running too, because they have the valve open for it too. Fingers crossed. So here we go. Come on, let's go. Come on, come on, come on, hurry. Come on, you're dragging. Let's go. Slowing us down, Maya. Come on. Hear water. We've got water. Heck yeah. That's exciting. It's gonna take it a minute. This is actually our biggest tire. So I'm just doing all this to make sure everything is gonna hold, and actually this seal is good. So I know it's a little muddy right now. We can drain it because I have a drain now, and water's coming out. That's good. All right, so now we're down in the bottom pasture. Bison and Roman down here. They haven't been in this lot in a long time, but this tire is splitting this. So this is the furthest one from the well, and actually the water's coming out pretty good. You can actually hear it, but it's about full, and that flow, once it rises up some, should start to cut off. Success number 2 so far. This tank, like I said, it splits our bottom 2 most. These are our farthest away pastures. This is the furthest away tank, but got it just right. It's perfect. Now, still got to put posts here on both sides, bar across. May have to protect that, but I love it so far. It's on this mound already, and it's built up. So Bison, they're not even know what to do. They're gonna be like, what the heck? We got water down here. We have to go all the way to the front. They're gonna love it. They're gonna be like, what in the world? We got water. Water. Yeah. Love it. What do you think? You don't care. Come on, let's go. Come on. Why do you always? Let's go. Come on. All right, pressure has come back up since the other one is filled up. The main thing about this one that I want to see is, I really want to see if, notice on this, right here along the seal, you see a little separation, you see a crack on here. So what I want to know is it gonna leak? And so we'll find out once it fills up over this, and it's on its way, it's just taking a little bit, but this one should get more pressure. And like filling them up obviously takes a lot of water pressure. It takes a lot of water to fill these up, so hopefully when they're full and they're just automatically need to come on, when that water gets low and the float drops, it will spring on, but it won't all be at once, because right now they're all running at once. I found a quick way to fill it up. Took this off, clean the filter. I made one little adjustment before I took it off, and it really started to flow out. I was worried about the water pressure. Thought maybe it's because of the other ones, but nope, we got plenty of water pressure. We're good. I'm gonna fasten this back on. That's perfect. See, the base have it actually stayed in, that you can just twist it off and clean that filter. That's what's the great thing about these valves. Now we are flowing. Something is blocking it. This one is pretty dirty though too. I'm gonna go ahead and make my adjustment on this. It's gonna have to be pretty close. Something else I may need for these tire tanks, you can kind of see some moths already starting. It's going to get worse as it gets hotter, but something that I need to think about is maybe putting some goldfish in here. You guys let me know what you think. Could put some carp in here or something. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, we may need to put some goldfish in here and then clean this place up. You guys let me know. Man, it is so nice to finally have this done. So much work has gone into it. I can't say that enough. It's so nice to have this, and because we have this now, we can start rotating our bison, which is, you guys know, which is why I did this. And if you go into, if you join part of the USDA or the NRCS, they'll do programs with you and help you financially, help you cross fence to be part of that regenerative ag. But with that, there's some requirements that you have to go by if you want to get some financial help through them. But when they do that, those requirements, you have to do what basically their standards are, or what requirements they ask you to do if you want to get the financial help. And one of the things is you got to have water systems established so that you can cross fence, and they'll actually help you with that. They'll give you money to drill a well, to get water in tough places where you can't get water. They'll help you do a lot of that stuff. And so guys, if you're looking for that, contact your local NRCS, which is the Natural Resource Conservation Service. Check NRCS out, check your local NRCS out. Thank you guys for watching this entire journey. This will end the 5-part series of setting these tire tanks. And thank you guys for being a part of this whole long system. And it's been quite a system, and it's taken me, I don't know, basically probably at least a month to do all this. And so I'm glad it's done. Needless to say, but it's perfect timing, because the other thing is it's summertime, and now we can rotate our animals and they can graze. So that's why we did all this, and it's good timing. So if you haven't, guys, subscribe to us, hit the notification bell, and you'll get updated whenever I do post new videos. And you can follow a small bison ranch in southern Oklahoma along, and we're just doing our thing here and taking care of these awesome animals that we love and care about so much. And that was something I thought about, and people keep asking me, is I need to name the new calf that I got from Noah. I need to name her. She's number 90, but I'm kind of got some thoughts on what I should, some sort of connection to Noah, obviously, because he gave her to me and he brought her to me all the way from southeast Kansas. So I need a name for her as well. If you guys want to comment below, leave me a comment on what you think I could name her. Anyways, thank you guys for being part of this journey. See you next time.